Hello everybody, my name's Ryan and I'm a driving instructor, and today even more stuff, speed, whatever. So even more stuff, speed, whatever. Why have I called it that? Well, it's about lots of reactions. I printed a load of stuff off. But before I go any further, like, comment and subscribe. So this is a comment that I got on the last one. It was from a driving instructor. And there was a couple of other things that were sent to me as a result of why can't I get a driving lesson. So first of all, the job, meaning driving instruction, is harder than what most people realise, and the risk of the job is reflected in the price. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. The devious have made it very difficult to get people past, in my opinion. Although it's a simple test, it is very unforgiving for what are very minor faults. I kind of agree that as well. Like sometimes you can look at something and go, you know what, I think that wasn't really all that bad, and they pick up a serious for literally no reason sometimes. A decent number of my students' fails come from a single serious for causing minor inconvenience to other drivers, even if the student demonstrates a high level of ability throughout the test. I think it should be that as well. I think it should be judged on the whole of the test and not some daft mistake. Fair enough if you screw up a roundabout or pull out on somebody, but if it's a little daft fault, why criticise? I think actually though the devious do actually mark that way, so yeah, maybe. These mistakes are to be expected of new drivers, and I see plenty of P-plates making these exact mistakes, and that would result in a fail. I do see that. I actually see people that have been past many years with the same faults. What we're going to do. The students are under too much pressure to pass first time. Completely agree, because of wait times and lessons cost. Yeah, totally agree. You don't want to be a person on your book forever and ever, but that's the way it is. That's what I was saying in that video. The test does very little to improve overall driving standards. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. But then the job as the instructor should be to basically teach them everything they could possibly know and make sure they're safe on the road. Maybe it's the actual system that's wrong and not ours anyway. And the risk of losing your job because of standard checks is one of the primary reasons it concerns me. A standard check is the annual or biannual or every 5-year check that the DVSA seem to randomly do depending on your pass rate. I hate them. I equally hate them. I think they're a complete waste of time. I don't see how somebody else somewhere can judge you and make you lose your business as a sole trader, as a self-employed person. How can they take that job away from you because you missed something? And the way that it's marked is a bit stupid, because you wouldn't really teach that way all the time, because it'd be impossible. Your head would be broken after doing 4 or 5 hours of doing it the DVSA way. Most people teach people on the fly. They'll let them deliberately make the mistakes. I do, unless they're going to crash or something, then I'll interact. But most of the time I let people make those little silly mistakes, little positional errors and things like that. Then I might say, what were you supposed to do on that corner? Oh yeah, I was supposed to do this. And you've done it on the fly. You're not going to pull them over and quiz them and the way the standard check wants you to do. You're just not going to do it. You haven't got time to do it. Where are we at? In additional, you have crashes, breakdowns and holidays that result in no income. Yes, agree with that. The cost per hour continue to rise. My prices are up 50%. I see no impact on student numbers. I totally agree. Everybody said the same thing to me. Freedom of diary up 3, 4, 5 times if I wanted. Absolutely. The number of instructors is going down and will continue to go down. It's just as difficult for instructors to get tests and lessons. Startup costs can be considerable, especially with franchising, which is what this guy did. Cost him £25,000 for the first year, including car fees, training. Yeah, I was in the same thing. I did the same thing with Ask and Go. I'm not doing that joke again. They are an ass. I'm allowed to say that now because I'm not under contract. I actually saw a ex-Pass and Go car with, it used to say on the back of the car, become an instructor and make yourself happy or something like that, and they took all the stickers off and they just left happy there. Yeah, I can see the point now. They didn't treat me very well, put it that way. Even though the number of structures is going down, yeah, we've already done that bit. I went solo as soon as possible. Actually, I spent a couple of years franchising and then went solo. That's a whole different story, though. Students are keen to take tests early than they should for cost reasons. Yep, absolutely. Most instructors are trying to improve their standards and have a decent pass rate to avoid conflict with the DVSA. I think mine's about 54, but we know that the average pass rate was, what was it, 47 or something like that. I know mine's higher than it. It's common for me to refuse to take a student to test simply because they don't want to pay for more lessons. Agree. Considering most of the public don't drive anywhere near the test standard, I think the test standard needs to be relaxed. Yeah, we can see this happening, and he's absolutely right, Mr. Cherrybomb. A couple of things. What can we do to improve it? This is what other people have said. What about on licence renewal? The people that have never done theory, when they go to renew their licence, make them do a theory test. Good idea. Will graduated driving licence do anything? Absolutely won't change anything to do with this at all. Graduated driving licence are more likely just to take your licence off you if you're being funny. Yeah. Why no more lessons? Yeah. Come on to the next bit. Next bit. So, somebody couldn't get any lessons, what do? They go out on the road all by themselves. Because they can't find somebody to accompany them. They made loads of mistakes. I had a person who contacted me who said, my wife learned to drive you, blah, 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 blah. I remember her really well. So I'll load up her account, have a look at her details, check her details, see how many hours, 20 hours done, fantastic. Yeah, that's right, I did teach your wife. She's got about 40 hours potentially to get to a driving test. Oh, no, you misunderstand. She's driving the car. What? What do you mean she's driving the car? She's only 20 hours of driving. She passed. No, she's not passed. She's driving the car. Couldn't get a straight answer out of this person. Very, very weird. That's all I'll say. So potentially we've got people out there that are now not doing any driving lessons and just going out. But not only that, they're not learning to drive with a partner, and they're just going for it. Scary stuff, yeah? So then, pedal to metal. Speeding remains the top motoring offence in the UK. Published July 24th. Put the thing in here. Devious data. DVLA data, not devious. This is a bit skewed. These stats are a little bit off because it's based over a longer period, but it kind of implies that more than 1 million people received penalty points relating to speeding. This isn't including the ones that did the opt out, or whatever it is, the hazard awareness. No, not the hazard awareness. What am I on about? The speed awareness course. I'll get it right in a minute, right? Yeah, get it right. Yeah, I will. Yeah, so then there's another, 50% on top of that, so 1.5 million people speeding, the most common in the south, which is what the article goes on to. Between January 23 and 24. Yeah, the thing's on here. Have a read of it. What's it all about? Well, it sort of relates to what we've just been talking about. People going out and I've got the print up, and are not doing the right thing. And what are these relating to? So if we go through SP30, SP30 is exceeding the statutory speed limit on a public road. So this is any limit. It's not that SP30 means 30 miles an hour, it means anything. SP50, exceeding the speed limit on a motorway. So that's really specific. IN10, using a vehicle insured against third-party risk. That's people driving without insurance, and it's all here. CU80, breach of requirements as to control a vehicle, such as using a mobile phone. That actually wasn't as high as what people think it is. MS9030, give information to the identification of the driver. This means that somebody's been driving the car, and the owner, the person on the logbook, refuses to tell them who it was, because it's probably somebody who hasn't got insurance, or probably somebody who hasn't got a license, or so they've decided not to tell the DVLA about their fine, or the police about their fine, so they've been issued an MS90. Now, an MS90, along with these next codes, some of these next codes, can get you your insurance to triple. Yes, triple. So SPs and Iron will get you refused insurance, by the way. But a CU80 isn't all that bad. But an MS90 and an Iron 10 and CDs and CLs, CUs, can result in significantly higher insurance premiums, not just by a few quid, triple. So if you're paying £1,000 for your insurance, you're paying £3,000 next year. Great. TS10, running a red light. SP10, exceeding goods vehicle statutory speed limit, 23. Yeah. So when you see all those people that are flying past you in Arctics doing 56 on the button because they've been limited and they're in a 40, you know why. Driving out due care attention. Driving otherwise than in accordance with a licence, LC20. So that means that they haven't passed a driving test. 9,000 of them. And defective tyres, 6,000. Nothing, is it? But overall, when you think about it, that's a bit excessive. So all this technology is going to come in and ruin all this, isn't it? It's going to change everything. Maybe it isn't. So, my reaction to those comments. I agree with you. I get what you mean. It's forcing people to now drive without insurance, without a license, without you're getting people that are in contact with me. I'm driving on my international driving license. When did you get your international driving license? 2 years ago. It's no longer valid. So driving without insurance, driving without a license. Because if they haven't got a valid license, they can't drive with valid insurance. There's lots to unpick there, isn't there? There's lots to think about and go, yeah, this doesn't work. What's all this about? Why are people driving this way? And it's because of the backlog, or because of... You'll always get people like that. You'll always get people that drive without insurance and drive without a license. But it appears that it's on the increase, significantly on the increase. Driver training. Can we do CPCs every 10 years like the bus and the truck drivers do? Can we not go and do some sort of appraisal, or maybe go and do an eyesight check when you renew your license? Can we not then go and do, people who haven't done theory tests, can we not just make them do a theory test? Maybe on renewal of your license, can we not make somebody do a 10-question theory test? I think I've mentioned all this before. Anyway, tell us what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend or your weekday or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.